shuts every one of them down. That's a full team kill.
He's looking for third. He's gonna get it.
Against Kinger now in a 1v2 once again. He finds one. He finds the second.
He's still alive. Can he go in?
Oh my goodness.
He's gonna go bar down and give Saints the lead again.
Hello, Saints Nation, and welcome to today's broadcast. My name is Jackson McBride Brown, and I'm joined alongside Daniel Jobin here today as we have some Overwatch action here in the NACE Starleague. It is going to be your St. Clair Saints versus the Ontario Tech Bulldogs, I think it is.
Yeah.
But regardless of that being said, I'm super excited to hop back into a best-of-5 Overwatch format here today between these two schools. How are you feeling about this matchup, Jobin?
Feeling pretty good. Like we said, the best-of-5 with the NACE format, but I like the boys have been showing a lot of promise lately, and I really like the steps that they've taken. So it should be a really interesting match. Hopefully for a 3-0, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this one go 4 or 5.
No, from what I've heard from the Overwatch team and just kind of looking at standings-wise and stuff like that, this should be a fairly even game here between these two schools. I would fully expect this one to see a map 4, potentially a map 5. Yeah. However, we never know what's really going to happen.
It's Overwatch.
It's Overwatch. Legit. Like, one team gets some momentum, and it could really be game over, right? It could really snowball into some more. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one actually does get played out and played through. I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing 2CP format or anything like that in this best-of-5, but the first map will be Lijiang Towers here for today for the, I believe that is the control point map up there. So it's going to be very interesting to see who can find that one.
Yeah, be curious to see what kind of comps come out or what kind of idea the Saints have. I'd like to see when they started to show a lot of aggression, we started to see a lot of success in the prior week. So I'd like to see them take that another step forward and keep moving on. And like I said, when they really put pressure on people, they seem to have found success. And when they sit back and they kind of don't know what to do, we've seen them struggle a lot. So just look for early aggression and just knowing what they want to do and not being like not trying to pick between multiple angles or multiple ideas.
So one thing they have really struggled with as of lately is the control point factors of things. Moving the payload, very, very successful and very, very good with that. But when it comes to holding down or going into capture control point, it seems that's where they get stonewalled most of the time. I think they've been working on it a little bit more back on the scrims, but that seems to be kind of the main problem here right now. What they have been doing as of lately, instead of, when you lose half your team, instead of going all the way regrouping as a whole team, they've been keeping 1 or 2 people on the point, whether it be like a tracer, something like that. They can move around quick and just
that hamster ball
and just
perfect
stop,
for it. Yeah,
just stop the clock and to do whatever they can, keep ticking percentage in their favor, whatever it may be, whatever it may entail. Yeah. That is exactly what they've been doing, and it's been working. It's a little bit more risky of a play, but it has definitely been paying off, and it's been paying dividends for sure.
Yeah, and that's saying if it's a strategy where you literally just can't break past someone's front line, especially if they have like a Reinhardt and Orisa, or if they have a bunch of like huge shield main tanks, you're gonna have to try to play that like, hey, we're gonna delay the timer, get maybe Apostle on the hamster ball, because you can basically just fly around and distract till the other 5 get there, and just being able to kill that time if you can't break to the front line, just as effective, but it looks a lot different.
Now, every time Overwatch is here on the Saints Gaming channel, I do say it, but I'm so excited to see if we are going to be able to see a Bailable and Ubel Mercy Pharah combo, because they have been deadly together as of lately. But we're going to be hopping into game number 1 here right now. Underway, Lijiang Towers, St. Clair Saints, and Ontario Tech looking to get into things here now in the NACE Starleague. And it's also a little bit interesting to see that NACE has the best-of-5 format rather than the best-of-3 format, like I believe it is NECC and the Overwatch Collegiate Championship Series. Those both best-of-3 series. So a little bit of a change of pace, a little bit of a change of format, but let's see how it all does get played out. Now, this first control, is this the first control point? Is this what we're going to be seeing here first? Yes. So, I mean, this is just like a square that you can literally just fire utility into, and it is just going to be a bloodbath, absolute mayhem right off the back. And I'll watch out for these railings as well, because you can easily get knocked off the map.
Those Lucio boops are very real on Lijiang Tower, so I would expect to see a lot of crowd control and like a lot of mobility and flying through those windows in and out and just trying to use the edge of the map there, because it's such a huge part of this control point. You kind of forced to use it,
or even like a big shatter can knock off like several people at one time. So it's very interesting to see. But regardless, looking like pretty standard comp setups here from both sides. Very identical, but still a couple changes from each side. So let's get into this one here now. It is going to be the control point unlocking in 20 seconds or so. Whoever wins this first fight, typically, it has been finding the control point and winning out the first round. So honestly, initially hopping the control point is a massive thing to do, and it's looking a little bit scary for St. Clair here now as, St. Clair looking good for St. Clair as they've hopped right into this point, and they are looking like they have forced Ontario Tech just way off to the outside.
Yeah, available, set up those Symmetra teleports so they can immediately get onto site. The only issue with Overwatch, the point doesn't unlock right away. So while this is a great start, this is like the St. Clair will have to actually have a very good hold on this. Yeah, they have some progress on the point. We'll get a couple kills through already. St. Clair holding the point so far so good. Get another one, but Apostle will drop Lucio. Apostle with another one, available will help as well. St. Clair with an early advantage, and it looks like they should take the control point here, and we'll start to get some points up.
Yeah, usually for the Saints, it seems as if they've been struggling as of lately as well, starting off of these games and getting this initial capture. Not right there. That was a beautiful execution to start off this matchup here against Ontario Tech and to get this one ticking in your favor very early on. We do see Ontario Tech regrouped here now, looking to come in once again, but look at this player on the flank. I believe this is G-Scales up here.
Yeah,
just doing so much work on the DPS stage. Now just behind all enemy lines. Look at all this damage. Apostle will take down one. Bailable following it up with one of his own, and that is going to be a 6-on-2 here now for the Saints.
Bodies are falling. 5 wiped out, and St. Clair will easily clear the point off. Let's say just immediate great pushback. There was an amazing flank by G-Skills on the Doomfist. Just throwing left hooks and right hooks. Apostle came through with that huge hammer, and St. Clair looking super clean so far.
Yeah, it has looked very, very well for them here now. 40% on the board for themselves, and as we do see Ontario Tech going for another push in. I'm surprised that Ontario Tech hasn't changed up a whole lot of their comp maybe yet, but still waiting on these ults. We do see a few of them coming through here now, and we could see things get a little bit more gritty over towards this point, as we do see, I think that was going for a shatter.
Yeah, it was a huge shatter, actually. Looks like 2 or 3 will go down. It looks like Luigi will answer with a couple. St. Clair getting pushed to the brink here. It is a 3v3. Site will be heavily contested. Couple kills getting picked up for St. Clair. It looks like they will hold the site here. Diva will get DMAX. St. Clair looking to clear it out. They will clear the site, so huge push by Ontario Tech, but St. Clair holding strong.
Yeah, that one was very, very close. And taking out the D.Va so late, too, is going to make the D.Va really struggle to regroup with the rest of the team going forwards here now. This is going to be G-Scales putting down some teleportation there. Yeah, right now, Ontario Tech, they're really having a hard time getting into it. This might be their last push here at 85% for St. Clair.
Yeah, this will pretty much be it. Say Apostle's doing a great job of holding their front line. The Deadeye will come on for Darker, looking to find one. Unable to find any, will take some shield damage. G-Scales will pick one up. Apostle taking down some of the turret. Will get traded out on Cheesy. St. Clair looking to hold so far so good. It looks like Apostle will have that extra charge ability. G-Scales with a huge kill on Big Mac, gonna help clear. Apostle just doing crazy work with that hammer, just clearing out every single door. Overtime on the board. St. Clair has to clear this point, and they will wrap this up. But Reaper coming through with the huge death loss. We're gonna take out G-Scales. We'll get traded out, and St. Clair once again contested point, so close to clearing this. We'll pick up a couple kills. Apostle and Luigi gets the kill. Diva gets D-Max. St. Clair looks like they definitely have the advantage. One more clear, and they should be able to end this game.
Yeah, we do see, I believe it was the D.Va D-Mech, which was just causing so many problems, such a small target to actually be able to connect onto. But St. Clair going to clean up this first round here on the control point in a very dominant fashion, now leading 1-0 here on this map, just looking to close it out. But, I mean, just last week, we saw St. Clair, they started off down 1-0 here on Lijiang Towers, but they bounced back and they found 2 in a row. So, it's going to be interesting to see if Ontario Tech can do the same, but St. Clair with a massive head start over top of them right now.
Yeah, and Bailable, once again, maybe we'll still... Oh, no, he will switch off the G-Scales onto the Symmetra, so they will try to get that instant teleport again, because last time St. Clair, basically they used the teleporter, and Ontario Tech didn't. They just beat them to the point and held it the entire time wire to wire. So Ontario Tech just too slow, and once they realized they couldn't break through that front line, they were pretty much just screwed. So we'll have to see what they try to do this time. Looks like they will match the Symmetra this time, so we will get probably a split push to the point this time. Not going to let St. Clair just walk on again.
That TP is so valuable to just give them so much of a head start here on this point. It's single-handedly, honestly, what really helped them close out that previous one, is just getting such early control over the map and such early control over the point, but lots of damage getting inflicted here now, and St. Clair will once again regain map control. Look at this, Ontario Tech has forced back onto their back end, as that is a few kills now going in favor of St. Clair, and this looks like the control point should go in favor of St. Clair very early on here. We do see Yubel fall back, I believe it was, to try to get that point capture, and we do see him on that now. This should be ticking for St. Clair very soon, and look at this aggression. They are way back in their spawn right now.
Yeah, St. Clair, I think they realized, like, hey, if we can take the point, we can get a really good push. Like, let's actually just push them back, and this is a map, too, where you can get a little split push on that staircase, so it's extremely hard to challenge this site without a really coordinated push. So St. Clair, if they can keep getting picks and put this kind of spawn pressure, it's going to be hard for Ontario Tech to really find anything.
Yeah, we will see what they can do, as it is going to be the side of St. Clair looking to make their way in. to the opposing spawn, but it's not working out too well for the side of Ontario Tech, as that is Darker, Slifer, and Zuigi all going down here now for Ontario Tech. The percentages still just going in favor of St. Clair. Now, going into this game, I thought that we were going to see a little bit more of a closer matchup, but right now it's looking like St. Clair is just peaking, playing perfectly, and just shutting down this Ontario Tech roster.
Yeah, and I wonder if the aggression of St. Clair kind of caught Ontario Tech off guard, because we hadn't seen this level of aggression from St. Clair at all. Like, to immediately teleport onto the point, say, we're going to get it before the timer even starts, and then we're going to immediately shove spawn. As soon as we see that 1% tick, we're shoving spawn. I don't really think we've seen that from them, so Ontario Tech just need to find a way to counterpunch, because right now that was a huge start for St. Clair. Baleable will come in with the Death Tire, trying to find one. Will try to skirt around, has a couple in sight, gonna try to lean this one back. Gonna still jump through, will find one on Darker. Great Death Tire by Baleable. Another kill by Cheesy will pick up a kill Apostle as well. Another one for Cheesy, and St. Clair once again just looking too damn strong on this point.
Yeah, that is everybody cleaned up from the side of Ontario Tech, leaving it all up to the Saints here now to get right back into their spawn trap positioning. And honestly, at this point in time, if you're Ontario Tech, you're just flustered. You are just annoyed of how this one is getting played through. And I think the momentum is just not there for them right now. St. Clair just needing another 15%. And I don't even think Ontario Tech will be able to make it here to contest in overtime. This is their last effort to be able to try to just make it onto the point. We do have Zuigi coming in and tanking all of these shots, but let's see how well it works. And they're all going to be sent up in the sky. Darker will find two, but all these kills now going in favor of St. Clair, and Baleable finding a couple for himself.
Yeah, we saw 3 ultimates come through for Ontario Tech, and we saw minimal results from it. The Death Tire came in. I believe we saw the Sigma ultimate come in, and one other, and just unable to do anything. St. Clair just way too clean, perfect positioning, and just flawless pretty much game 1.
Yeah, it was a beautiful game 1 there. So who's going to have the play of the game? It does look like it will be Apostle coming through here now on the Reinhardt. Let's see what he did in this
I think
one.
it was a massive shatter.
Definitely could be. He's going to be swinging around. We'll get a lot of damage on these players.
No,
and
no
honestly,
shatter. Just some good beating.
Yeah, exactly. Just some good old-fashioned fragging out, I guess you call it. But that is going to be 1-0 here for the start of St. Clair in this best-of-5 series over the Ontario Tech Bulldogs. Now, what do you do if you're OT to answer back?
You have to play a way more aggressive style, because clearly playing on the back foot is not going to work. So unless they're able to find picks or get some different sort of way to initiate a team fight and then pick off a tank or one of the DPS, they're going to have to really just play like, we need to get to this point first, because if we get there second, it's not looking good.
Yeah, that is the big thing. Now, we do move over to a control point and then a payload unlock here now moving forward, so a hybrid setup. This could benefit the side of Ontario Tech a little bit more, but we do know that St. Clair excels on the payload, not even the control points. So to see St. Clair 200% to 0 on these control points makes me very confident in them moving forwards. But regardless, Ontario Tech, I'm looking for you guys to surprise me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think St. Clair that was pretty much a case of like, they just got hit so many times so fast, they didn't really know how to react or what to do, so they just kind of were like, oh my god, what's going on? And then the game's over. This time, I think they'll have more time to regroup. Although, like we said, St. Clair has definitely been good on payload. We are going to go to King's Row, so this is definitely a really interesting map. A lot of ways to attack it, a lot of verticality you can choose to play, but like I said, Saint's been really good on payload, but we'll have to see the hybrid if Ontario Tech can come up with an answer.
Yeah, and honestly, seeing King's Row scares me a little bit for Ontario Tech. It is a map that is played by all of these teams and is very, very well practiced, but it's just called Saints Row for a reason, right? I mean, you don't get past that one. It is going to be St. Clair just playing it day in, day out, and being very, very strong on it and very, very comfortable on that map select. So hoping that Ontario Tech is very, very comfortable as well with it, but if they're not, I'm quite concerned here for them.
Yeah, this is a map where things can get out of hand really quick, especially with a lot of the choke points. Like if you get pushed back really hard, this can be a very difficult map to try to take over and regain. So Ontario Tech, like we said, they're going to have to get a lot faster start, because if the Saints start like that again, man, they're going to go running.
Yeah, they definitely will. I mean, the thing is, if St. Clair unlocks this control point on their first team push on attack, I think that might just do it, because St. Clair is just so good when they have time. If they have time to move the payload, they will do it. They will get that to the end. If they don't get it to the actual end goal and get all 3 points, they will at least get it just inches away and get a lot of distance and make it very difficult for a team to come through and try to take over that distance. But regardless, very, very excited to hop into this one on King's Row. And St. Clair just having a 1-0 game lead is really going to make the side of Ontario Tech Bulldogs to answer back, because if they don't do it here now, they're down 2-0, forced to reverse sweep, and a reverse sweep in any game is not easy.
tall task.
Yeah, but with that being said, I do want to mention here, this is the last day to enter our giveaway, so make sure you do so. The winner will be drawn after our broadcast. Well, not after the broadcast. It'll be right as we're about to go signing out here for the evening. So get your entries in while you can. This is your last opportunity to get your final entry in here for the giveaway. Winner will be decided tonight, as said, and the winner will be able to get to pick one choice of Saints apparel from our acquire.ca/Saints Gaming shop. With that being said, it is going to be Kings Row coming up here right now. St. Clair College and Ontario Tech looking to get into things, and it does look like Ontario Tech will be starting on the offensive side.
Yeah, look, maybe we'll see some Widow combos here for the first little stretch. There might be some Widow trades trying to pick each other off or whatever. Like I said, this is a map where you have a lot of distance, but when you get into those tight choke points, this is one that can really, really be won or lost extremely fast. So I say we see it, like we're seeing a lot of front tech, we're seeing a lot of, like, you want a lot of crowd control, a lot of area, but like I said, we're seeing like the Hanzo, we're seeing a lot of characters more than last game, where you have a lot more space to fly around vertically and deal damage that way. Like, look at G-Skills immediately getting a bunch of tags with the Hans.
Yeah, it's so good with that bow and arrow. But one thing I do also want to talk about is that usually we see St. Clair come through on Kings Row with a Mei.
That's what I was looking for,
They're not using a Mei this time around, so maybe trying to change things up a little bit, because last time the Mei didn't work out like perfect for them.
Yeah.
So maybe trying to change things up a little bit here now today. But it does look like they're off to a pretty decent start there until G-Scales gets forced out of his position on the Hanzo. That's going to be Zuiji able to get an early pick. Now, this could really hurt St. Clair to lose your DPS that early on. But we do see Calcium getting some good utility onto Arjunk as well. The Mei Slifer just barely staying alive here for the side of Ontario Tech. This is a blood battle on the point.
Yeah, Apostle trying to hold the front line with the shield, trying to keep those fire strikes up, keep the damage up. I will say, Luigi on that Winston is going to be a problem. It looks like he's just jumping around, trying, like, creating different angles. Arjunk will pick up the kill on Darker. Like I said, we're just seeing a lot of mayhem right now, a lot more verticality and a lot more different angles than we're seeing in the last map, and St. Clair's going to have to adjust to it.
Yeah, that is one tick already gained on the point for Ontario Tech, so at least making some good progress for themselves, but St. Clair does look to force the pressure back. That is very, very good, just burning time off the clock, because initially that first team push used a lot of time. Like, that was, they were trying to go slow and methodical and make sure it actually works out, but St. Clair answered back, and now you have G-Skills right back into the fight with the DPS, and you could have some more problems here now, especially when he's hitting shots like that.
Yeah, getting those Hanzo tags. Oh, back to back to back to back. St. Clair say, Ultimate will come through. I don't know if he'll find anything. At least he'll clear at that middle area. So St. Clair looking to at least deal some damage here. And once again, playing extremely huge shatter by Apostle. We'll knock down a couple. We'll pick up 3 kills. 3 for Ontario Tech will go down. 4 will go down. 5 will go down. 6 will go down. Team kill for St. Clair. Absolutely wonderful work. Available picking up 2 massive kills. And St. Clair, what a play.
There's not much things in esports that are more satisfying than a full team wipe in Overwatch, because it's just St. Clair now allowed to just heal all back up, regroup as a team, and just basically reset with your ults being on a much higher percentage and having more of them. It's going to be a huge benefit there, but I do believe we see some ults coming through now. Zuiji going to pop his, and this could create some problems. Baleable will take him down, though, not able to net anything on that ult, as we do see the side from Ontario Tech here now getting damaged. Very, very weak. Slifer will find one. This Dragons are out from Ontario Tech, as well as Calcium cleans up another onto Ubel, and this is going to create some problems for St. Clair as Cheesy falls. Arjunk, Baleable, G-Skills, what can you do to try to slow this one down? Not a whole lot by the looks of it, as Ontario Tech is running up this capture now. 2 ticks on the board. Baleable and G-Skills will find a couple of kills to at least answer back, and they actually might be able to contest this.
Yeah, it looks like they actually surprisingly got him pushed back. Ontario Tech invested 3 or 4 ultimates into that push, and it looked really, really good for the time being, but unfortunately they weren't able to. Huge shot by G-Skills, absolutely rails Tracer, 1 tapped in the head. Ubel will pick up one as well. St. Clair just looking better and better and better as these seconds pass.
Yeah, the Tracer just a little bit unlucky there, just teleporting right in front of a Hanzo bow and arrow is going to really hurt yourself. So Ontario Tech is forced to regroup from that one here now. But look at the time on the board, Jobin. It's only 55 seconds. St. Clair has burned off over 2 minutes here already on the clock, and they're looking to continue to do so. We do see Zuiji come up here on the Winston trying to do so much, but it can only do so much, right? That's the big thing.
Yeah, and diving that backline as Winston is all fine and dandy, but if you lose half your HP before your initial push, just like that, G-Skills will take him out. Like I said, when you lose a lot of health trying to get an early engage, you can get easily picked off. Apostle will come through with the shatter, looking to pick up a couple. St. Clair will get a couple kills on the board. Baleable will take out Calcium. And once again, St. Clair just perfectly timed 2 to 3 ultimates, and they're able to get a full clear. Even without a team kill, they're able to fully clear the team back into the spawn.
The one thing that does greatly benefit Ontario Tech right now is that they already do have 2 ticks on the point. They only need to hop on it for a few seconds or so before they can actually release this payload and get more time on the clock. But I'm quite concerned that they might not be able to get this final one, because with only 10 seconds left on the clock, this one's going to go into overtime any second. This is literally your last effort to try to come and take this one. It's a good start here, doing a lot of damage onto these St. Clair players, but let's see how much it does pay off. G-Scales will take down Big Mac. The overtime is on the board. A contest on the point is there, but all these kills going in favor of St. Clair. Calcium, all that's left will go down. Full team wipe, and St. Clair will shut them down at the control point on Kings Row. It's called Saints Row for a reason.
Yeah. How clean were those team kills? Just everybody absolutely perfect position, and G-Scales, like, bruh, come on.
Yeah,
Stop it.
Just hitting so many shots. That is one thing that has been phenomenal with him on the DPS as of lately. He's very consistent when it comes to hitting those very high value shots, or those very heavy hitting like bolt action, bow and arrow.
Yeah, those rapid fire ones.
Things that really do a whole lot of damage. And so we'll see how St. Clair does on the offense here now. But realistically, they release the payload and this game is over.
Yeah, all they have to do is get 3 ticks and that's it. Or just, above. Because Ontario Tech wasn't even St. Clair with an excellent hold. It looked like Ontario Tech had it. 3 ultimates, 3 or 4 Saints were dead, and just Apostle frontline shatter gets 2 out. G-Scales comes through with 2 or 3 huge kills, and all of a sudden St. Clair looking, just Ontario Tech sitting in the spawn going, what just happened?
Yeah, so if you're St. Clair here in this one, honestly, like you were saying, you don't even need 3 full ticks.
Yeah.
You need 2.5.
Yeah.
2.5, and you have this point, you have the win, and we do head into a game number 3. So looking very, very good for St. Clair as they do look to get this one here. But honestly, Ontario Tech is still going to be in it. I've seen lots of times where St. Clair has been, stopped at this control point or have been severely slowed down. So it is going to be Ontario Tech having to bring their A game out here right now, and if they don't, they will be forced to reverse sweep. But overall, very excited to get the second half of this map going.
So we're going to see, it looks like Ontario Tech going to go for, like I say, the Arista and the Roadhog. So I wonder if he's going to try to land some kind of hook on G-Skills here available and try to get that DPS out of there, because that was such a huge thing for St. Clair. G-Skills just had so much entry DPS that it felt like Ontario Tech was just always fighting at a deficit.
Yes, we do see the 6 players from St. Clair look to flood into the point here now. If they can start it off with taking down one of these tanks, especially the Roadhog, will be very, very massive. Calcium going to get tagged down, as well as Zuiji. Zuiji on a big flank will not be able to connect onto the hook, though, as that is so much damage going to try to get inflicted there from the Diva. And St. Clair will be on the point here. This is ticking for actually quite fast as well. Look at how much pressure St. Clair's already put on. We do see a bottle of beef take down Apostle, but St. Clair has a tick, and that is so huge. Even if they all die here and they have to regroup as a team, getting 1 tick, I'd still call it successful, just knowing that you only have to complete the capture point.
Yeah, that's the beautiful spot St. Clair's in, is that they only really have to win 2 to 3 team fights tops, and they win this round. So you can afford to try a couple things and try to do some different ideas, because ultimately, we need to have 1 really good push, and we can take Arjun with picking up 2 huge kills and say, St. Clair looking to clear the point. Calcium will go down, Beep will go down, 5 kill streak for G-Scales, and St. Clair looks like they're going to clear the point. And wow, Ontario Tech still struggling to find answers.
Yeah, you see 3 people, all the, more gushier players from St. Clair will stay on the point, but with Ontario, that's all it took. That's why I said Ontario Tech has to come through with a flawless, defense here, because 1 team wipe, you spawn so far back and so far away that by the time that you come back, St. Clair's already captured that point, and you're done. You can't do anything.
And you don't want to teleport, and you don't want to run out in a 1v5, because you'll get immediately wiped out, and then guess what? 20 seconds again, right back to the spawn. So you have to try to kind of wait for a group. Look at Arjun with the great shots. So you have to kind of try to wait for a push, but it's that weird thing where it's like, you need to push. There's only 3 of us alive, but we don't have any time left, so they're forced into something they probably wouldn't do otherwise, and St. Clair just able to take full advantage of that every time.
That's exactly the case. So a 2-0 lead here now against those Ontario Tech Bulldogs will put St. Clair at a massive head start here in this series. We do have our game number 3 come up, and now this is where you lose me a little bit. What mode are we playing? I'm not 100% sure. I think it is strictly payload. Escort. Okay, so this is good and benefit St. Clair. We have not even seen a payload yet, and we are about to head into map 3 right now. So we keep talking, St. Clair, they're better on payloads. Well, guess what? We haven't even seen one yet, so let's see if we can see, obviously we're going to see one.
If it's half as good as Control, I like our chances.
Yeah, honestly, that's the thing, right? Right now, so St. Clair is looking to get the distance on the payload and to try to close this one out here in game 3, where Ontario Tech forced a reverse sweep, and those are never easy.
Yeah, especially a game like Overwatch, man, things can go so bad so quickly, and if you lose the first 2 team fights, you kind of know, we're in trouble.
But that could also really benefit the side of Ontario Tech. If they win the first 2 team fights, they are right back into this whole series. So that's where you really look at things and really try to judge where...
The mental fortitude has to be very real, because you can let it snowball, or you can do the one snowballing really, really quick. It just depends.
Exactly.
You got to come out strong, though. And St. Clair, we've seen extremely fast starts, and even that time I was really impressed. They didn't necessarily start super fast, but guess what? They counterpunched extremely hard when Ontario Tech put some pressure on them.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I'd like to see more of this St. Clair applying the pressure in the spawn.
Yeah.
Whenever they do it, it seems to be successful.
Yeah.
Like, and they know when to do it and when not to do it. So hey, that's why they're playing,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm not. But I'd like to see it come through here once again, because if you can just do phenomenally, now, here's the thing I was going to say as well.
Caveat.
If you can have your defensive round first, if you're St. Clair, would be massive.
Yeah.
Just to try to just shut them down, and then you know where kind of where you stand.
Yeah, and you can play a more free offense. So you're like, hey, we know we have like a round in hand here. We can really go crazy. And if I know Apostle, he's looking to go crazy.
Yeah, well, definitely looking to go crazy here in this game number 3. So we should be hopping into this one in just a few minutes or so, as Ontario Tech is talking things over. And that's the thing I like. Ontario Tech at least taking a couple minutes right now to try to figure out something new that they can do going into game 3 to try to turn the tides a little bit.
Yeah, and the way those games went, you kind of have to. Because let's be honest, like outside of 1 or 2 good team fights, the ultimates were a little bit mistimed. St. Clair was able to get away from them, and they really only won, one team fight maybe to get their ticks, and even then it was still contested pretty heavily most of the time. So if you're them, you're looking for literally any answer. So I like the idea to sit down, let's have a refresh, get the mentals, rechecked, and everyone calm, breathe. We're going to come out strong, and we will not get rolled. And then you just try to take it from there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So hopping into this one here now soon is going to be St. Clair looking to advance to a positive record here in the NACE Starleague. But as of right now, I think the St. Clair are looking very, very strong, and I think they're playing a little bit better than I anticipated here tonight. They are definitely locking this one down. I mean, it's literally been flawless so far. The only thing they've given up is 2 ticks on a control point.
Yeah, they're not insane. When you play hybrid and don't even let it go to the payload for offense and defense, and you win both times, I mean, something's clicking for the boys tonight.
That's exactly it here now. I've yet to see the Farah Mercy combo yet from U-Bolt and Bailable, so I'd like to see potentially that one come through here now in game number 3 on the Escort. But it's going to come a lot onto the tanks here. The tanks are going to have to go in front of the Escort there, in front of the payload, and we'll have to just essentially escort it all the way through, right?
Yeah.
Where you have those other 3 players just trying to deal all the damage on the back line and trying to stay on the payload. So we'll see what they can do. But I think I already said it right, but I'd really want to emphasize, I'd like to see the Saints on the defense first, because like you said, it'll give them more of an ability to kind of see where they're at.
And losing on offense is honestly just quite frankly deflating. Like when you lock someone down and like we have you guys like a glove right now and you guys can't go anywhere, that's demoralizing for either side of the ball. Or either side of the court, whatever Overwatch is played on.
We are hopping into our game number 3 here now, and I can't remember the name of this map off the top of my head. So we will get into this one though. St. Clair very, very experienced on it. I've seen them. They've been playing this for the last 3-4 weeks, just nonstop.
Yeah.
And it's been very, very successful. So I'm honestly quite happy to see St. Clair on this map, and to see St. Clair starting off on the defense, and to see a Farah Mercy combo.
Here we go.
I am so excited.
Yeah, this is the perfect map for it. The map, for the most part, besides these buildings and these small windows you can step in, is very, very open. And most of the payload spots, there is a lot of spots to get rained down on from afar. So if you have a Mercy sneaking in those back hallways healing you, this could be a deadly combination for St. Clair.
Oh, G-Scales off to the side a little bit too on the Tracer. Could inflict a good amount of damage when these players actually do creep up. So we'll see what happens, but the payload will start moving initially here. Now as Ontario Tech is all stacked up towards their spawn side. A very standard start. St. Clair going for a little bit more of an aggressive hold though. Sometimes you see players wait until this one is in the corner and then try to pinch it there, but look at this. Bailable. Gonna get 2, knocking them off the bridge. And this is what makes the Forest so good. That is gonna be G-Scales able to get some good utility onto Big Mac. Bailable looking to clean up the opposing Farah from Darker, but right now so far so good for St. Clair. They are pushing this one right into the spawn as we were talking about.
Yeah, unbelievable start for Bailable. That's exact, and this is another map too. Those knockoff abilities are so critical, because if that payload stays near or at the bridge, you have so many opportunities to just boot people off the bridge, and they'll be none the wiser. No chance to answer or anything. And St. Clair right now, amazing top-down pressure. Great kill by our junk. We'll get Darker will trade out Ubel. Once again, Bailable still raining down from the Farah, but St. Clair holding decently stronger. But Ontario Tech will pick up a couple of kills or so, slowly pushing the point here, but St. Clair with some good defensive pressure so far.
Oh, Big Mac so weak, down to nearly 1 HP, just not able to get the cleanup. Now G-Scales is going to be very heavily inflicted as well. Calcium taking down Apostle now. It is going to be Ontario Tech actually getting a good amount of progress on this payload. They might be able to just sneak it through and get this first capture point. And that would actually be fairly quickly. Yes, St. Clair was off to a very hot start, but since then it has been all in favor of Ontario Tech. They're going to try to stop this one underneath the bridge, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, this is an extremely hard point to stop the payload. But here, like we said again, now we're getting to this bridge area. We have a lot of like potential off-the-map capability, so we can see a lot of like different plays coming from St. Clair defensively.
Ooh.
They don't have to necessarily initiate a fight. Apostle will go down. Arjun still will get some utility taken out. St. Clair still trying to hold this. Darker will pick up a couple. Bailable on the ultimate. Will pick up one. Will pick up two. Huge play from Bailable. Darker will trade out Ubel. St. Clair with some still Bailable, keeping the pressure on. Even with 10 HP, still hanging in there. Will eventually fall though. And Ontario Tech looks like they might move this up some more here.
Yeah, they got the mercy of Ontario Tech very, very weak, but Bailable was just not able to manage to pick up that cleanup. And we saw G-Skills on a very nice flank as well. It was really working out well. The ult was popped, and he found some very nice kills with it, but just like that, it was Ontario Tech able to bounce back. But this staircase is where, if you're Ontario Tech, you can start to get a little bit more concerned, because the staircase is a very difficult point to get past, as Apostle will take down the mercy early on. Darker, though, on the ult will take out Arjung. Apostle there for a trade. G-Skills going to find one as well. This is all in favor of St. Clair. The payload has been stopped, and St. Clair will have control of this building, doing so much damage onto these two players as well.
Yeah, and as you said, Overwatch, the payload gets harder and harder and harder to push as you get down the map. So St. Clair, the defense will get easier and easier theoretically. They just have to make sure they hold position, and so far they've done a great job of creating tons of kills getting traded up for St. Clair. Like I said, as soon as they hit that staircase, there's so many ways to get attacked if you're Ontario Tech. It's just so hard to keep track of everybody, especially when you have Ubel coming in with a huge res and you have everybody else. You have that Pharah ultimate in one of those buildings, pretty much unstoppable. You have nowhere to run from it.
Yeah, that's exactly the case here. Now G-Skills will be hopping on one of these bolt-action rifles, just doing so much damage from a distance. Sending in some more utility here now, and just look at all these shots, just all connecting onto these players. And
G-Skills wants that headshot so bad. He's so close to hitting it, but unable to find anything so far.
Yeah, so it is going to be Bailable taking down Darker with a nice headshot there, actually. And now putting the player advantage in favor of St. Clair once again, as they do look to break into this building. Apostle will open it up with another onto Zuiji, as that player does fall 6-on-3 for St. Clair, as Ubel finds Slifer. And, I mean, honestly, at this point, Ontario Tech is just getting stonewalled at the staircase. They're going to have to try something new moving forward. We do see a revive onto Zuiji. This could change things a little bit, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, St. Clair say it's a really strong hold. Both of the Ontario Tech's tanks are up in there. Shatter is online for Calcium if he decides to use it. So St. Clair, if they do end up holding this, is going to be very, very difficult, because a Shatter in these close quarters can be devastating. Bailable will get knocked up by Calcium. And once again, looks like Ontario Tech does have some forward pressure now. So St. Clair playing off the back foot, and Ontario Tech actually has a nice push going on the payload. Looks like they will almost certainly hit the second checkpoint and then back Saints up to that parking lot where they have to try to finish.
Yeah, will get contested last second, so just trying to burn off a little bit of time on the clock. It's going to work out fairly well, actually, with this contest staying in effect. I believe Slifer trying to get pushed up here on the Tracer and take down more of these Mercy and whatnot, and actually going to do so much damage. That's almost a full team wipe to St. Clair, only leaving up Arjunk and Cheesy here on the respawn. But regardless of that being said, Ontario Tech has this payload moving and moving quick. 3.5 minutes is a lot of time to get it in just this short distance.
And they're going to have a lot of ultimates online soon. The Hanzo ult will be online, the Tracer Sticky Bomb, and the Zarya ult will be online. So Ontario Tech does have a lot of utility if they decide to try to all in a push here.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. It is going to be the payload. Once it gets around this corner, we will see this push get a little bit more committed, but St. Clair is actually going to force the aggression and peek outside here. It's a very bold play, but it looks to be paying off as of right now. Bailable taking down Zuiji to start us off, as G-Scales will follow it up with one on Calcium and Cheesy finding Slifer as well. That's going to be 3 down and forcing Ontario Tech to back off and regroup. This payload is now moving back here a little bit as well, so very good stuff from St. Clair to slow down the presence.
Yeah, it's exactly what St. Clair needed. Just you needed one really strong push, because even though they've done a really good job of contesting OTSU, that fire strike was huge on G-Scales, able to eat it and get away with his life. But we saw a lot of good pressure from OTSU forward. St. Clair able to dig in there, dig in their heels. This bend don't break defense, able to just keep them out of the parking lot. But OTSU is going to load up again here and be ready. So St. Clair has their work cut out for them still. Ultimate will come online. A couple kills will come through for the side of OTSU. Bailable will trade one out. Calcium pick up another one. St. Clair looks like it'd be a 4v3 kills getting traded out. Another kill for Darker. Ontario Tech looks like they have taken the advantage in this fight. Will back St. Clair off and will push this point further.
So, from Bottle of Beep, actually used the res on the Mercy there, and that really changed things around for Ontario Tech to put this one back into their favor. They're going to be getting a full good payload push here now. It's going to be very difficult for St. Clair to try to stop this one. Even if St. Clair can't stop the push, at least able to take some more time off the clock here now. As 2 minutes is still quite a bit if this one does actually end up in overtime. So we'll see what does actually happen here. But as of right now, St. Clair looking to lock them down over towards ramp side. G-Skills will open us up, taking down the Tracer of Ontario Tech. And that is a good start, as the Tracer did have the ult as well.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of frontlining from Apostle, just trying to keep that shield up, keep those fire strikes coming, just try to get that ultimate charged and try to keep the OTSU as far back as possible. And we do see a couple ultimates online for St. Clair, so even though they could play this time of, they have a really good chance here to stun OTSU's push once or twice, and they might be able to actually stop this payload from getting the completed push, so we'll have to see what will happen here. Sounds like Deadeye will come online for Bailable, or for Thing, looking to find anything. G-Scales getting a couple tags, but no kills coming through on the Deadeye, so still a little bit of a stalemate here at the front. Cheesy will pick up Slifer, huge kill. Apostle trying to dive in, will get picked up, unfortunately, and that'll hurt for St. Clair. Their front line going down, and unfortunately, OTSU, not St. Clair, still pushing the payload back though, actually, but OTSU gonna have to all in it here because they know time is not on their side.
The Dragons from Bailable will go massive here, finding two. Darker Bottle of Beat both going down. Having a Mercy out of this one is not what you're looking for, as Luigi will answer back with 2 on a St. Clair, though this could cause some problems here for the Saints. G-Scales finding Slifer with a nice little headshot there, going to put the player advantage back in favor of the Saints, and now with some healing coming through from Ardrunk on the backline will really help them regroup here as a team, and some more damage coming through from G-Scales on the DPS, just inflicting so much here, forcing Ontario Tech back. Now look at the time, Jobin, 35 seconds, not a lot to work with.
Yeah, when you were Ontario Tech and you had 3 minutes to push from this spot, it was really comfortable. You thought we got 3 or 4 shots at it. All of a sudden, 30 seconds, we're going to see a lot of ultimates between both teams. Huge kill on Apostle, creating that frontline tank out. We're going to see a huge push from OTSU. A lot of health going down for St. Clair. Calston will pick one up. Looks like the Diva Bomb may have come through for Cheesy. Not sure if it hit anybody. Calston, massive shatter, picks up 3. Absolutely insane. Res will come through on Big Mac, and St. Clair looks like they will lose the point.
Apostle is here for a contest, but he's going to drop like a fly there. G-Scales tries to come in on the Tracer, but it's not going to be quick enough. Cheesy comes in on the Hamster Ball, but not enough as well. That's going to be 3 points captured for the side of Ontario Tech, but not a lot of time left on the clock. Only 3.4 seconds. I believe that automatically gets bumped up to a minute, and so then both teams do have 1 minute in overtime here. But regardless, St. Clair, they got to answer back with some strong offense here.
Yeah, and like I said, they got pushed around a little bit there, but I was really impressed. They dug their heels in towards the end of that, and they really did a good job of telling Ontario Tech, this is not going to be free. You're going to work till literally the last second to get this on us. You're going to have to break our front line over and over. You're going to have to spam those Mercy reses. You're going to have to like beat us into submission to push us off this point.
Yeah, that is exactly it here now. So it is going to be St. Clair moving towards the offense, as we were saying. And, you know, we've been hyping up their payload game all day long, so let's see how they can perform on it here now today. It is going to be needing to get all 3 points to force an overtime to come into effect, as we do see Ubel going to be on the Mercy still, but no Farah there for Bailable. Ontario Tech this time around not going to be using it as well. Bottle of Beep going to stay on the Mercy, but no fair there for them as well. But honestly, the Hanzo has been so good in these as of lately. Yeah, the Hanzo has been extremely strong for both sides, so I honestly see no reason for them to change, although G-Skills has been playing amazing on a bunch of different heroes, so I don't hate that change from St. Clair, because Ash is a very, very strong character as well. So St. Clair, a little bit of a different comp this time, a little bit of a different idea, but now they're on the offensive side, so they're going to take a little bit of a different look at things. Bailable might try to get some backline Tracer sticks. We'll have to see what kind of push St. Clair wants to go with here. Yeah, we'll see exactly right here, right now. So Bailable actually going to try to sneak away on the Tracer. Nice TP at a good time to sneak behind all these enemy lines. Going to spot a one player, going to flick some damage, but now just way behind all this enemy line. Look at this. He is so sneaky right now and could do so much to this enemy team. Look at this. Tracer from behind. Okay, now all of Ontario Tech has to worry about him. He's just going to inflict so much damage from the backline. Bailable doing such a good job right now. They're so distracted, and look at how spread out their defense just immediately got. This is going to allow the payload to potentially sneak through this corner here now, as Bailable will come out from above. Cheesy trying to do a lot of damage down here from below, but as of right now, I mean, it's going to be St. Clair stonewall down the alley. Yeah, and this is usually, one of the chokes. And we saw a great push there. Bailable on the back line, timed Apostle on the front line perfectly. G-Skills with a huge kill, using the dynamite and picking up Slifer with a huge shot on the Ash. Bailable will pick up one on the Tracer. Arjun will pick up one as well. St. Clair looking amazing so far. Big Mac really low HP, unable to find the kill so far. G-Skills will pick it up, however. St. Clair clearing the point. Cheesy picks up Calcium. Luigi down to 1 HP, looking to run. Will get picked off by G-Skills. Slifer will take out Bailable, but St. Clair with an amazing push to start this. Honestly, Bailable does not care that he went down there, because he just tormented Ontario Tech's defense. He just came back, flanked, did so much damage, and then as the rest of these 3, 4, 5 are pushing this payload along, Bailable was way up there on the bridge, just keeping Ontario Tech back, because now St. Clair is able to get this one just so close to the first point capture. It might not have been here if Bailable wasn't up front and doing so much work on the Tracer. Slifer will find 2 for us on the Tracer, though, actually, as that is going to make things a 6-on-3 for St. Clair, as Luigi will find Bailable as well.
Yeah, and Apostle just going to run away, try to keep his life there. St. Clair pretty outnumbered on the point there. Slifer will pick up Cheesy, so gonna have to get a little bit of a regroup here and a repush, but that was a great first push. They would have liked to get the checkpoint to get some time bonus, but surely I do believe they'll be able to push it and get it here. But like we said, just big play so far. Available on the backline Tracer. There's nothing worse than a Winston jumping on your head from the front and Tracer backlining you, just annoying the heck out of you. Just quick TPs, quick flashes, you just can never keep track of them.
Yeah, that's exactly the case here now as we do carry on moving forwards with so much of this utility coming in from the side of Ontario Tech, going to make things very difficult for St. Clair to make their push actually happen. It seems as if St. Clair doesn't really know how they want to break into this one yet. They don't really have a huge tank who can take all this damage, but now we have Apostle here who's willing to do so. Bailable will take down the opposing Tracer. That's going to be Slifer falling. Darker good for one, but Bailable on the ult will find the Mercy and Darker as well. Cheesy and Apostle finding some picks, and this is nearly a full team wipe for the side of St. Clair, as this should be the first point on the board.
Yeah, we saw the Sticky Bomb and the ultimate from Apostle come in, so you had crowd control and you had a high DPS output. So St. Clair, perfect timing on both the ultimates, like we said. Bailable and Apostle have had great timing on everything so far. Just Bailable, I'm going to dodge that front line, and you have Apostle come in from the top and just jump off the top rope on him.
Yeah, so Apostle just trying to creep around the corner, seeing what he can do in that regard. If they can get building control this early on, it would be so
huge.
massive here for them, because this is a really tough point to actually make it through, but we do see the side of Ontario Tech now really starting to apply the pressure upstairs here now in this building, but immediately forced off it actually is going to be St. Clair, and a nice little fight there could take down this Winston. Cheesy on the backline going to get a lot of damage off as well. The Tracer trying to force him out of his position, but this payload has been moving so quick here now, Jobin.
Yeah, the entire time they've been fighting, and we talking about building control, they have been at least pushing the payload the entire time. So all those distractions, everything are great, but they have a huge kill by Darker. We'll pick up 3. We're using Bob and the C4, the Dynamite. Huge play for OTSU. Gonna stop St. Clair. Their tracks. Apostle will end up off the map, and Darker with another one. Massive team fight for Ontario Tech, just pushing St. Clair right back.
So Darker, I believe, got like every one of them except for Bailable and one more. He got like a 4K.
Yeah, I think everyone, him and Apostle maybe.
Shut things down, and that was going to be Ontario Tech able to just get that full team wipe off. And this payload moving back into a choke point could be a problem for the Saints, because now look at it, it's going to be stuck right under the bridge. This is a really interesting corner to try to have to work around here now, as we do see a big flank coming through from 2 of these players of Ontario Tech, going to just cause problems for St. Clair. We have Bailable on the point trying to inflict as much damage as he can, but tagged down to 63 and immediately knocked out there to Darker. Calcium finding one as well. Ontario Tech is doing a great job at stonewalling the Saints defense or offense.
Yeah, and we're seeing huge plays out of Darker on the Ash. He has been absolutely locking down the front. Huge bounce back by G-Skill. A little fadeaway shot on Slifer. Cheesy will pick up one as well. Huge play for St. Clair so far. Calcium will trade out Apostle though. Rez will come through on Darker, so St. Clair gonna have to worry about that once again. He has been massive for them so far. G-Skill's gonna try to get another fadeaway, trying to shut down that Primal Rage on Winston. He's gonna look for some crowd control. St. Clair will be able to play it back, but they will get pushed far off the payload. That Winston ulti providing huge utility for Ontario Tech.
Yo, a big Dynamite going to come in, but it's not going to do as much as he wanted, as G-Skills is now just looking to follow it up with some good shots. But look at the time here now, Jobin. This is starting to get a little bit concerning, especially as we do see Ontario Tech finding 4 frags onto the Saints, leaving it all up to Cheesy and Apostle. Cheesy will get demeched and now cleaned up as well. Apostle all left alone here on the Winston to try to make something happen, but it's not going to work out. Ontario Tech is playing this flawlessly here so far.
Yeah, such a hard point to push to say. And now Ontario Tech has full building control. And Darker, when you're getting these long-range massive tags, it's very easy to hold building control when everyone has to either back up or push you at half health. They're just doing such a good job of controlling the engagement. St. Clair has to come to them and try to initiate, and they're just locking down the building and getting as much DPS as they need on the entry.
Yeah, so with that being said, only a minute is left on the clock. Bailable is able to move the payload ever so slightly, but it's not going to really make a huge impact. They got to move this one and got to move it quick here now, because 60 seconds is all that's left on the clock. We do see the Winston. I think that is Primal Rage on Apostle, so he's going to be trying to do so much damage on that, but it's not going to really net a whole lot of kills as of yet. Bailable taking down Big Mac will be the start you are looking for, but how much more can Bailable do? Tag down 4 HP, will fall himself. G-Skills takes out Calcium, now a 5-on-4, as we do have Slifer and Darker finding some more, though could be a problem for St. Clair. This payload is getting very, very close, but the contest is here for Ontario Tech. Some big shots from G-Skills will help, but he is going to be very, very weak here.
Yeah, great tags by G-Skills, but unfortunately there's 5 or 6 Ontario Tech members with a couple ultimates in the bag, so they're not overly concerned. Another huge kill for Darker. He has been absolutely critical for Ontario Tech so far. Just landing huge shot after huge shot. Slifer will pick up Yubo with the Tracer ultimate, and St. Clair once again just searching for answers and unable to find anything so far.
Yeah, that is going to be the Tracer getting actually darker there, so that could open things up for the Saints. The Mercy going to be getting taken down as well, but no, just like that, the revive is there for Darker. Cypher and Calcium will both find picks. Cheesy available, at least able to answer back, and Cheesy's actually able to find a second for himself. This contest is here. This overtime could work out. We'll see how it does go here in just a moment, as we do see that is going to be Cheesy demeched, able to still find Calcium. The payload is moving here once again, and we are getting very, very close to the second control point. However, Ontario Tech has regrouped and has made their way over here, but St. Clair will capture the point, and this is now going to be with a minute and 20 on the clock to get their third. Not a lot of time, but doable.
Yeah, now we're seeing Apostle and Cheesy on the Diva and the Hamster Ball, so I think St. Clair's looking for a more like, we're not going to do as much frontline attacking, we're going to try to play vertically, and we're going to try to mess with them and try to create off angles, and we're going to try to be able to control the point. 2 huge kills getting picked up for St. Clair. So once again, still forward progress, moving on Ontario Tech, but still pushing the payload forward. Ontario Tech still holding that front line strong, but St. Clair just slowly inching their way forward, and say they still have another 1 or 2 decent pushes in here, so if they can move this payload into this hallway, they have every chance to push this through.
It is moving quick right here now, Jobin. I mean, if they can win this team fight, that might just do it. That might just close this one out for St. Clair, and they might actually have more time than Ontario Tech. Look how fast this thing is moving in.
It's ticking.
It's going to force the Mercy to use res. Cheesy will take out the Mercy shortly after, so that's a lot of healing gone from the side of Ontario Tech, and that is going to be Apostle following it up on a Calcium. Big Mac going down to Bailable. This payload is just here. This contest is trying to work out, but St. Clair finding them all is so close, only needing to clean up one more player, and they find it with a minute and 24 here left to use an overtime. Ontario Tech with only 1 minute, so St. Clair will have a pretty decent advantage. 24 seconds may not seem like a lot, but that's going to be quite the advantage to have an overtime.
That hamster ball switch immediately paid dividends for Apostle and St. Clair. He was able to just swing around the site, knock people back, and then lay out that ultimate, that minefield on the payload, so even if Ontario Tech wanted to push through, they were going to have to work through a lot of damage and a lot of issues, and for them, they just weren't able to do so. St. Clair with a perfectly timed push, and say that payload was flying the last 30 seconds.
There was like 3 or 4 people on it almost at all times, and you know, they only had 55 seconds from the second point capture to actually make it to the next one, so they literally did that in like 30 seconds, and were just able to just
it's like they woke up and hit the switch and said, okay, move time.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because we saw Ontario Tech get stonewalled there for 3 minutes, where St. Clair got stonewalled right at the beginning, so both teams very different offensive plays here from them. Ontario Tech started off hot, but really slowed down. St. Clair started off slow, but really sped it up towards the end there, and we do see the beautiful fair pick. Never mind, no we don't.
Almost. We almost had it. Available, I'll say, onto the Ashe now. I'll say that Ashe has been absolutely massive for, that would say, it was huge for Darker for Ontario Tech, now going to be on the Farah, so we're seeing a lot of different matchups too between both teams, just trying to jockey each other's style and trying to figure out who's trying to do what. Because say St. Clair, they went like a full mobility setup last time at the end there, and that was exactly what they needed for the push. They didn't need the hunker down damage, they just had to move and move quick, and that's something you say you can make a lot of adjustments and see what's going on. G-Skull is going to try to get some early tags, but a little bit of back and forth, probably won't get any too crazy of a push or anything here to start off.
Yeah, so each team will have a minute, and, well, sorry, Ontario Tech has a minute, St. Clair will have a minute and 24. Whatever team can inflict the most amount of offense, whoever can move this payload the quickest here, the furthest in the first minute or minute 24 that you do have, will be the winner of this one. The only thing that will benefit Ontario Tech here now is that Ontario Tech started off really fast in the previous games where St. Clair did not. Yeah. So that is going to be a little bit of a worry, especially with Darker inflicting so much damage on all of these players inside the building. Yeah,
if I'm St. Clair, I am like red highlighting Darker's name, and I am prioritizing him every single team fight. He has been the linchpin for Ontario Tech and has been the one person there. We'll take out Arjunk. We'll get the self kill as well, I believe, with the explosions. But so if you're St. Clair, you'll honestly take that as a trade. If you get Darker off the map and then you take out Slifer, so both DPS going down. So this could be huge for St. Clair if they can take advantage here.
However, Ontario Tech still has gotten a good amount of distance so far on this point. It will be contested, but they have a huge upper hand in this team fight. They might be able to actually get another point on the board here, and St. Clair is just not even close to answer for this one. Ooh, St. Clair will be looking to stop it underneath the bridge before they do actually come in and get that 4th point. But regardless, St. Clair is in a very, very good spot to try to stop this one right here on the back line.
Yeah, and this is, say pretty much their last chance. Both to get pushed. Ontario Tech will get the push through. Overtime will come through. Say Saints will pick up a couple kills. 3 will go down for the side of Ontario Tech. St. Clair with a huge pressure to start off. Slifer will get the trade on Arjunks on some utility. Will get traded out by Ubel. Mercy goes down. Big Mac goes down. St. Clair looking amazing. Darker goes down as well. Team kill for St. Clair, and that'll stop Ontario Tech's push in their tracks.
Not gonna lie to you though, Jobin, they got that one pretty far. I mean, St. Clair last time did not do that in under a minute and a half.
No.
So I'm a little worried, but if they can just change up, like they have a new clean slate. That's the big thing. If you can just kind of reset, regroup, and do whatever. No way this payload starts here, right? No, okay, that's what I thought. I was just making sure. I was like, no
Whoa.
shot. I was like, no way. But yeah, so they will be restarting back at the beginning. But regardless of that being said, St. Clair, oh, I don't know, man. This is a coin flip right now on what happens.
As I said, this is pretty much going to come down to 2 huge team fights or getting a couple big picks early. More specifically, probably Darker and Slifer, since they've been backlining and absolutely ruining St. Clair. This is going to come down to you need to come out and you need to. St. Clair needs to initiate. That's the thing. They can't sit back. They don't have any time to play around. Ontario Tech was able to get the push. They need to initiate fast, hard, and they need to get this fight finished with quickly and then get this point moving.
It's exactly what they need to do. Ontario Tech on the Pharah Mercy combo could be a problem here for St. Clair. But regardless, we do see G-Skills on the Ashe, which could be very, very big as well. We've seen how useful it can be in these previous games. But here we go. St. Clair trying to find a 4th point capture. They have that. The extra 24 seconds is going to have such an impact.
And we're going to get Bale on the Soldier now. He direct counter to Darker. I think Bale has taken it upon himself. Darker will not be the one to take us out this game. So Soldier is a direct counter pick to Pharah. So I expect to see Bale. We're going to try to focus Darker like we thought this time.
Yeah, we'll see how it does work out. The payload will be moving here early on as we do see a lot of damage get inflicted on these players in the building. Apostle actually already up here on the Winston could cause some problems as he's jumping over. Now just taking this fight on for himself. A lot of damage coming through for the Saints, but we do have Zuigi who's just inflicting so much damage over on the right side. This payload, though, already now in the corridor with still a minute left on the clock is going to be very massive for St. Clair. That's what the extra 24 seconds does here for them.
Yeah, and you want to try to keep that constant forward pressure. Even if you're not moving it with 3 people, constant pressure will give you a chance to get back in this. You just keep that like right now being stonewall for this long honestly hurts them so bad. They're gonna have to group together and they're going to have to win a team fight. Because Ontario Tech right now playing it pretty well. Darker will pick up the kill on our junk. We'll get traded out though. Cheesy will get traded out as well, so it looks like it's still going to be even. The res will come through on our junk, so St. Clair trying to get a quick regroup here. More trades will come through. St. Clair, once again, trying to break through Ontario Tech's front line. That Arissa holding strong though, not going anywhere. And St. Clair, that payload just stalling out in time is not on their side right now. 20 seconds to go, and they still have a ways to go.
Yeah, they still have a ways to go, but the overtime is something to keep in mind as well. They do have that whole overtime if need be, but Zuigi is going to be here now on the hamster ball trying to potentially get a big slam with this open ground in effect. But so far, St. Clair is looking to do a good job of clearing out a few of these players. Big Mac will fall. That's going to be another one for Baleable here on the Soldier. Darker taking down Apostle, but look at this. It's going to be Baleable inflicting so much damage here on the Soldier. 3 people on the payload in this overtime. Now only down to 1 as Darker does find Baleable G-Skills. Will trade out the Dynamite. Huge to have that Darker player out of this rest of the point.
And that res on Apostle's massive. St. Clair, they might be able to take this out. The hamster will delay them, but if they're able to get some heavy damage here, they might be able to keep pushing this payload. Cheesy gonna try to use that gravity and try to get everybody off that payload area so St. Clair can keep pushing. Will pick up a couple kills, Bob included. G-Scout's gonna pick up 3. That might be what St. Clair needs. Cheesy getting 1. Slifer, 1 HP going down. Team kill for St. Clair. Unbelievable. They're able to capture the payload and push it through.
And that's going to put it to a tie, or does that close it out? Oh, so we're going to another... Oh, okay, no, so we're staying on the overtime. St. Clair just has to get a little bit longer?
Yeah.
Was it time-based?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Or no, I think the payload just got released and they only moved it like half
Maybe,
a meter.
yeah, the first 0.1
They
meter,
moved
yeah.
it 0.3
Past what
meters
they got
after
it,
past the point to close out the win there. So we actually do see Apostle on the Wrecking Ball. We saw the Wrecking Balls come in a little bit later towards these games. As you can see here, it is going to be just doing so much damage in this close range impact area because worst case scenario, what? Jump up in the air and smash down on the ground.
Exactly. You smash everybody out horizontally, so you can literally clear that entire payload with an ultimate and a smash. And I think Apostle knew that, so they knew, hey, we get into this last room, this hamster ball will be invaluable for us to clear this space out.
I'm not going to lie to you guys over at the all of our viewers back home, but we do not have a lot of time before we have to go into Rocket League right now. I mean, we got about 5 minutes or so before CRL does start. So we're going to quickly break this one down. Very big win for the Saints in a 3-0 fashion of the best of 5. Something we were not expecting. Me and you both most likely seeing interest in, or not interested, potentially seeing a map 4 and 5. But it is going to be Ontario Tech dropping all 3 there to St. Clair. Very good fight there on the last one. But St. Clair started off the series too strong that Ontario Tech was just not able to answer back, and it is going to help advance the Saints record. I believe it's either 3-3 or 4-2 now.
I believe they are 3-3.
3-3.
So
okay.
500. So getting back up there now. Go to a positive record hopefully next week.
All right, so that is going to be nice to see. But if you haven't entered the giveaway yet, please do so down below. We will be drawing the winner after the Rocket League game here tonight. So make sure you guys enter that one. It is your last chance to do so. But until then, my name is Jackson Bright Brown, joined alongside Daniel Jobin, and we'll be right back with you guys in just a few minutes with some more Rocket League.